Welcome to The Downtown, a podcast by Arlington Citizen Media. I am Darrel Smith Jr.
I am Rodie John.
And I'm Amy.
This is going to be a podcast where we explore what makes Arlington great. Myself, I'm a lifelong resident, graduated here. Rodie is also a lifelong resident.
I did.
Did not graduate here.
I did graduate here.
You
from
did
high school.
graduate here from high school. That's important.
I got an associate's degree. Does that count?
Was it from Southeast?
Yeah.
TCC Southeast alumni, baby.
13th grade.
13th? It was definitely like 13th grade.
I'm actually from Orange County, California, but I moved here about 12 years ago. I would consider myself an Arlingtonite.
12 years, I think, is a good time.
Oh, it's over a
You've been
decade.
here long enough that you get it.
Mm-hmm.
I love this city. It took me a while to warm up to it, but what I want to do with this podcast is, inform people and help them learn to love the city they already live in.
I think part of our motto is to rediscover your city. Arlington has a rich history. It is also, I feel, an upcoming city. There's a downtown revitalization process happening. We're actually recording this in the new downtown library.
It's very beautiful.
We can see the construction on Abrams Street, kind of, from the room that we are in right now.
Luckily, you can't hear it.
You can, which is very good. So part of the podcast that we want to focus on is telling you about the cool restaurants, all the cultural activity, the
Art.
Telling you about the Rangers and the other sports teams you can see here.
Because, believe it or not, folks, we don't just have 2 professional sports teams in this city.
We will have 4.
Because don't forget about the Dallas Wings.
Don't forget about the
it.
XFL Dallas.
Don't forget about them.
And also the esports Dallas team plays here in Arlington.
That's
so
true.
it's 5, really, if you think about it.
Arlington has what I would consider a lot of different places that kind of cater to a lot of different people. We have the sports complexes. We have Texas Live. We have Urban Union. And we have a gajillion awesome restaurants in this city. All over this city. Not just in downtown, but in South Arlington. Past Barden, even. I bet there's some good restaurants past Barden.
There's a lot of good restaurants past Barden.
See?
Even almost to 287.
Almost to Mansfield?
Almost to Mansfield.
The other thing we want to talk about is local politics. We're going to be interviewing city council candidates, mayoral candidates, school board candidates, and current sitting members. We want everybody to be informed about local politics because, believe it or not, it shapes your everyday life more so even than statewide or countrywide politics. We want to be a resource for the citizens of Arlington to really understand the ins and outs of local ballot measures and who's representing them.
May 4th, don't forget to get out there and vote.
That's right. Civic participation is an important part of everyday life. At least I think so. In fact, we will be later in the show talking with some of those candidates, bringing you the insight and info that they have to give straight from their mouths.
And find out which pizza place do they really enjoy going to.
But we are going to we ask the tough questions here at the downtown. What is your favorite pizza place in Arlington? I've had some knockdown drag-out brawls over that question.
I may have a
That's
record.
weird.
It's very violent.
Pizza's serious.
Pizza's serious
serious.
business. In fact, I think we can answer that question now. Rodie, what's your favorite pizza place in Arlington?
Old school.
I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Amy?
Domino's.
Well, okay.
Is that really it?
I don't get out much.
She
Well,
will.
good thing she's on this podcast because we're going to go try so many pizza places.
She's going to hate pizza by the end of it, but that's not possible.
It's not possible. Also up on this show, I actually met with Brandon Hurtado from Hurtado BBQ. Mm-hmm. He has a new food truck.
Where's that at?
Division, right across the street,
Oh.
actually.
Remember, we went there.
We did.
It was, I think it was kind of the first Arlington Citizen Media outing. We've been planning for this podcast for a while.
It's been a minute. But we're here now.
We're here now. We're here to help, and we look forward to everyone enjoying the podcast. We actually have social media if you want to get in touch with us. Instagram is just Arlington Citizen Media. We got Twitter at ATX Citizen Media. You can hit us at arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. That's our website. And if you would like to email us, it's team, like a sports team.
Like there's no
like
I
a
in
sports
team.
ball team at arlingtoncitizenmedia.com.
And you'll be seeing us at events. We're going to be at the art festivals. We're going to be at the 4th of July parade. We're going to be around, hopefully with booths. If you see us, come say hi. If you have any ideas for future segments or interviews, send us an email. We want to hear from you guys.
Definitely.
We want to know what you want to listen to and go check out.
I think part of us helping everyone rediscover the city is you helping us figure out what that means.
Help us also rediscover the city.
Right.
Help us help you, helping us, helping you, rediscovering.
And here's Darrel's conversation with Brandon Hurtado of Hurtado's BBQ, located at Division Brewing. What did you think last time you were there?
Oh, I thought it was excellent. There was a long line. Obviously, people are really enjoying it. It was a great day. You can bring your dog out. I had a cupcake. It was awesome. What did you have? I don't remember.
I had the brisket, because by the time I had gotten there, everything else was sold out, which is a really good sign.
Yeah, it was excellent. Anyways, here's his conversation. Enjoy.
I parked across from Division Brewing, located on East Main Street in downtown Arlington, just a stone's throw away from the train tracks. I was coming to meet and chat with Arlington's newest barbecue proprietor, Brandon Hurtado, and immediately was hit with the scent of fresh brisket, ribs, and quail. You could smell the smoke and hear the meat sizzling on the smoker. I checked in with Brandon, and he told me he could meet me in a few minutes after he finished the batch of ribs he was working on. The best he'd ever made, he told one of the ladies working in the trailer. He always said that, she said. He offered me one, and I was more than happy to oblige him, as I had not had breakfast that morning. And he wasn't lying. The ribs were very, very good. Hurtado, who also runs another Arlington business, said that he got his start in food from a young age.
I just have such a passion for food, and I've always smoked meat since, as long as I can remember. Watching my dad growing up, he would cook for the city of Irving where he worked at. So I grew up just kind of like watching him cook and learned to do it on my own, in my own style.
After a slew of pop-ups at other breweries last year, the decision was made to stick around in Arlington.
Well, being that I went to college in Arlington, I have a lot of affinity with the city as a whole. And seeing as how our first pop-up was here at Division, I felt like Wade and Sean were kind of the ones that helped us get our start as it pertains to the whole pop-up scene.
The grand opening at Division Brewing was on March 9th, and it was hoppin'. Arlington Citizen Media was actually on the scene, but by the time we got there to get our order, the only thing that was left was the brisket. So last weekend was your grand opening here. How long was the line?
There was a 2-hour-long wait. It was wrapped around the building, so it was fairly long. I think we served about 300 people. It was a lot of work.
What time did you sell out?
We sold out around 4, and we started at 11.
Yeah.
So, but we made a lot of food.
Well, I saw you were cooking overnight and
Yeah.
The menu has a bit of a Tex-Mex flair to it that you don't see at other barbecue places. Side items include smoked elotes and serrano coleslaw, and all orders come with house-made tortillas. It also deviates a bit from traditional barbecue places with items like smoked quail and pork belly burnt ends, both of which are incredibly good. When pressed for his favorite menu item, though, Hurtado had this to say. Said it was tough.
That's such a hard thing to say.
My wife wanted me to ask that question.
I mean, really, I love the smoked quail because I feel like it's so different from what other barbecue places are offering. And it's a semi-boneless quail, so there's a lot of meat on the bones. Mm-hmm. That and the 44 Farms brisket have to be my favorite. I mean, it's just an incredible product.
When he's not working at his marketing firm or delivering delicious barbecue to the masses, he likes to eat at 2 of Arlington's other fine culinary establishments.
I really like Restaurant 506. Just like really small, quaint, local fare. Tipsy Oak is really solid for me. It's good ownership. Kevin's a great guy. I go there quite often for lunch.
Be sure to check out Hurtado BBQ every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. at 506 East Main Street in beautiful downtown Arlington, right next to Division Brewing. You can also pre-order all of this delicious barbecue for pickup on Saturdays at HurtadoBBQ.com. Trust me, you will not regret it. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to sit down with Brandon. Super nice guy, really great barbecue.
Very good barbecue.
Definitely try the smoked quail. I've not had anything like it. Check them out at Division. Speaking of grilling, we are going to pivot now to talk to some of the city council candidates and some of the mayoral candidates.
The election is May 4th. Make sure you get out and vote. We're going to help you understand some of the candidates and platforms. Super important, guys.
Just giving you the info so that you know you can be a more informed voter.
All right, we are here with Kris Dobson, who is running for mayor of Arlington today. Amy is here as well.
Hello.
We're just going to ask some questions.
You bet. I love questions.
Excellent. Why are you right for the office? And why do you want to run for city council?
Mayor.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah. Let's do this again. I can edit this. Why are you right for the office? Why do you want to run for mayor? And why should the people vote for you?
So I've kind of got a different history than a lot of the candidates out there. I've been running for 10 years. Each year I've lost. So the next year I get to run again. Whereas the winners have to take a year off. So the reason I think that I should be mayor of Arlington is the voters really indicated a desire for a change in direction, a change of culture at City Hall, and I think I can bring that. I'm not really as tied to the Chamber of Commerce and large businesses as some of the other candidates, and I tend to think that each person's point of view is a valid part of Arlington and needs to be heard and respected in order for us to come up with the best decisions. So I'm trying to do a very inclusive and incorporative sort of campaign. I generally tend to look at it kind of like slow food cooking, that movement from a few years ago where, I'm not a microwave. I'm not going to be ready in 10 seconds. But over the course of a decade, I've slowly kind of just continued to talk and get my message out through word of mouth rather than large campaign funds.
Excellent. How did the term limits campaign play into your decision to run? Well, it sounds like you've been running.
Yeah.
What was your perspective on that, and how would it change what you would hope to accomplish during your terms if you were to win?
So I'll try to take this in parts. The term limits campaign was really an illustrative kind of learning moment for me. The people that started that campaign attempted to negotiate with the mayor of Arlington at the start in May and June, and were unsuccessful. They were asking for initiative, referendum, and recall to be part of the charter amendment. So instead, they collected a wide group of people in our community from very progressive women of Arlington to, some of the very libertarian, almost Tea Party groups. And across the spectrum, they all worked throughout the summer to collect those signatures. And then watching the actual sausage being made in August, it really solidified to me that there was no better reason or no better example of why we needed term limits than their actions during August.
Right.
And so I spoke ironically against term limits, actually for the alternative term limits proposal, because I just couldn't help myself. It just, the humor came out in me, and I was like, hey, y'all doing this is exactly why we need term limits, and you're proving it the more we do this. So it really didn't affect my decision to run. Like you said, I've been doing it for a while, but I think it's really brought about a new level of conversation from the incumbents. There's not a whole lot of them in this particular cycle, but they have to acknowledge now that there's a serious component of our community that's not okay with just doing things the way it's been done. Right. And so that kind of move to incorporate change is something that I celebrate